Hi, this is Rachelle with Journal Life's Journey, and I am back to work on the fall journal. This journal is Traveler's Notebook style. Where we left off last was I was working on the cover for the junk journal style insert. I've pulled some things from my stash and just some bits and pieces that I had laying around that I want to use in that junk journal or possibly the folio that I'm about to make. So I am still using scrapbook paper cardstock from that paper pad that I received in Happy Mail. And I'm going to attempt to turn a few of the pages into a folio. The issue with that is the paper is single-sided, so I am trying to eliminate having to cover pages. So this is somewhat of an experiment of me trying to fit the pages together so that I don't have to come back and cover the white space. So what I've done to somewhat eliminate that problem is actually folding the paper to the size of the insert that I want to make. So 5.5 inches wide in this case, which leaves an extra inch that I'm using as a tab to connect the pieces. So this way I can create a double-sided look without having double-sided paper. So I've done the scoring and now I am just checking to make sure I have the right height for the insert. So I'm about to trim down the pieces that I've scored and folded to the correct height. And this will be a tri-fold folio. So I don't really have this completely mastered. I was somewhat doing this on the fly. Also, I'm still having issues with my camera. If anyone can give me any suggestions on what I can do, this is Logitech Brio, I think it's called. I cannot get it to stop brightening as I move, and I know it may have something to do with the black in my jacket that I'm wearing while I'm working, but yeah, if anyone has any suggestions, let me know. So on one of the pieces, the orange colored piece, I went ahead and cut it open into two separate pieces. And the idea is that that would serve as the middle panel, and I would attach the flaps in between the middle panel pieces. So here I'm adding glue to my first side. I'm mitering it just a little bit so it doesn't show through. And then I'm putting my middle panel on top of that flap. So my middle panel, I have two pieces, two separate pieces. I cut them apart. All right, so then technically I should have gone ahead and attached the other panel, but I didn't think of it. Again, this is all an experiment. I hadn't done anything like this. So I went ahead and glued the back panel piece on, and I discovered really quickly, oops, you should have done that because you got to attach the other one. And I wanted that flap to be in between those two panels. I hope this is making some type of sense because I feel like I'm rambling. Anywho, so I inserted that tab for the other piece into the middle panel. So technically I could leave the left and the right panels open and actually have some flips and folds for those, but I decided to go ahead and glue those shut. But here I am burnishing. You see how it's getting bright when I move my hand? I don't like that. But yeah, here I'm burnishing down my folds and making sure that this is all going to fold together nicely. And I'm going to go ahead and ink it up. Very grungy. And and there it is, the three panels. Here's where I'm thinking, maybe I could leave that open and make a flip out of it. but that would defeat the purpose because then I would still have to come back and cover those two panels. So I decided to go ahead and just glue it closed. So really this is going to be a folio base so that I can add pockets to it. I could add envelopes. I could add a waterfall. And I probably should determine what I want to do before I glue all the pieces together. But in this case, I didn't need it to be anything elaborate. I wanted it to be simple because I am going to be putting it on the elastic in the fall journal. So I'm trying to keep it simple and not make it too bulky. So I glued the other side closed. So now it seems like we have double-sided paper when we really don't. So everything is the correct size, it's the correct width and height. I probably could have given myself a little gusset, a little spine space, but again, this is going on an elastic, so I don't want it to be too bulky. Just touching up the ink. So this is one of the scrap pieces that was left over from trimming the height of the panels. I'm just inking that up. I'm going to use that tab piece that I punched with the envelope punch board and rounded the corners of as the way to attach this to the middle panel, but it will also serve as a tuck. And I'm going ahead and making sure everything is inked up well and dry fitting to make sure it's going to fit and adjusting just a little bit, trimming it up. Doing a little more inking, dry fitting. And then I decided that I needed to straighten it up a little bit because I cut it with the scissors. It wasn't quite straight. Then I'm going to rescore and fold it to make it slightly shorter so that it fits in the space a little bit better. I was going to punch it first, but I decided I better find the center before I do that. So I did that, and here I'm punching with 1.5-inch circle punch, inking it up again. Varnishing my folds. And now I'm going to go ahead and glue this together, turn it into a pocket. So I'm gluing down one side and at the bottom. Then I'm going to glue 3 sides on the tab piece because that will be a tuck spot. I'm just making sure I have that glued well because it is only held down on 3 sides. And checking to make sure that it still closes. So this is what I have so far. I have a lot that I can do to this to build it out. I just have to decide what I want to put on each panel, and I want to make sure that it's not too bulky. You can see here how I tucked in a little ticket in the tuck spot. This is a large Project Life card that I've slid into the pocket, just testing it out to see how it was going to work. Then I have these little pieces, bits and pieces that I have made that I may add to the folio. Just testing out a few ideas. I really like the butterfly piece, and I have a piece of scrap here. I'm thinking of making a sliding belly band. So that is the base of the folio insert. I will be coming back soon to decorate and embellish it. It'll be kind of like an ephemera holder, so there will be lots of ephemera in it that can be used in the fall journal. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos. And I'll holler at y'all next time. Bye.